Hey everyone, welcome back to another gameplay guide video. In this one, I'm going to be going over a Yemo game that I had. And just before we start the game, I thought it important to note that the reason why I picked Yemoja here is because they have a Fafnir and Anubis on the enemy team, as you guys can see. And one thing I really wanted to do this game was pretty much hoop my teammates away from the stuns. So if they did get stunned this game, then I could kind of hoop them away from that location. So that was sort of my objective, my goal this game. But let's go ahead and get right into the game. All right, to sort of start this game off, again, we put our 2 choke point wards, as I've pretty much done every single video I've done of this, so I don't want to get too repetitive, but I do want to sort of describe what I'm doing in each game. So we have both the wards that are choke points here in dual lane. This is, of course, to help prevent ganks. So if the enemy jungler decides to do an early, like, cheese gank, for example, we'll know it's coming and hopefully we can play accordingly. So when we get to lane, they have a Fafnir and Hachiman. We have a Yemoja, and we also have an X-Ball. X-Ball's clear isn't the best, but Yemoja does bring some form of early game pressure, just a little bit. I like to think that she has more pressure than Fafnir. But it really just kind of depends how the lane plays out. I think this one we have to kind of back up a little bit, and that's completely fine. That's their slow curse. I still have my shell. And so that's something that's like really important here, right? It's like noting that their slow curse is down and our shell is still up, so we can actually play, for a good fight. And as you can see here, because they also, I would assume, put down wards as well. Unless they're cheating. No, but because they put down wards as well, they're able to sort of spot the rat gank, right? And sort of back up accordingly. So that's kind of what I mean by being able to put down wards early as a support main. You really want to get at least one, preferably two, just so you don't have to guess which direction they're going to be coming from. And here I'm starting to get poked out a little bit, so I kind of want to play a little bit safer than I normally would. I'm still playing up. I still have the shell. So because I still have shell, I can still sort of put myself in a, let's say, a weirder position than, say, if I didn't have shell, and that's completely fine. So here we're sort of just still clearing wave, not too much going on. So one thing about Yemoja, and oh man, too bad we missed that hoop. If we hit that hoop, that could have been really big. He still would have had beads, so maybe he beads and walks right through it, but we would have at least pulled something, right? But one thing about Yemoja is that I don't really like getting my 2 level 3. In fact, I usually get it level 4, and sometimes it's even fun to get it level 6. Oh, we actually had a really good hoop right there, and yeah, really well played from my X-Ball. And here we're actually just going to body block. So this is really big. I'll let it play out real quick so you guys can see what's going on. Cool. So pretty much what happened there is all I want to do is put myself between my X-Ball and the Fafnir. And as I'm doing that, the Fafnir has a really hard time getting autos off. And of course, when Faf's hammer comes up, as you guys saw, his hammer is going to hit me instead of my X-Ball, and my X-Ball is going to be able to sort of freak out that whole time. Now I'm autoing my X-Ball there to help give him HP, HP regen, because that's what Yemo autos do. And I also sort of want to match his strafe, which is why I don't really turn around to auto the Fafnir. Now you could still auto the Fafnir there, that's completely fine. But for me, my autos I feel like aren't going to do too much. And so I'd rather just sort of match the strafe of my X-Ball and make sure I'm really just body blocking for him as much as I can. So that's the big thing. Oh, wait, clear both of those. Damn, that's me so hard. But yeah, so like pretty much like what I was saying before is that I can play a little bit up because I had shell and all that kind of jazz, and also too, I don't like getting my 2 level 3. I like putting 2 points into my 1 because I feel like it does more, and you don't really have enough Omi in the early game to do a whole bunch of stuff with abilities. So here's another, this is pretty much what I was saying in the intro. I was saying mostly with Fafnir and Anubis, but also with Serket, I just want to sort of hoop my allies out of the CC. And that's pretty much what I was doing. This Serket was actually playing really well this game. That was a huge double taunt by her. That kind of screwed us up right there. But she's actually still in this. Did we get this guy? Yeah, we definitely do. Good. Nice. And now we just... Actually, our Raijin's coming over. We can try to stall this fight out a little bit longer. Raijin's already back. Got a really good stun before I died, and we actually get the kill there. All in all, not too shabby of a play. It's completely fine to trade out my life right there for the Anubis. That's completely fine. But yeah, so sorry. Every time I like talk about this, there's always like some sort of fight that I wanna, sort of like commentate over. So that's why I keep diverting off of it. But what I was saying is that when you hit level 3 as Yemoja, you don't, like, in the early game, you don't really have enough Omi, so you get 2 extra bars of Omi throughout the game. Or, sorry, 3 extra bars of Omi, I believe. It's either 2 or 3 throughout the game as you level. And so in the early game, you don't have nearly as much. And so you want to use, say, your 1 a lot more, especially because your 1's doing damage. And sometimes your 3 as an escape tool. So because of that, you don't really want to be using your 2. And plus your 2 is not going to be healing that much anyways. And so that's why I don't really get my 2 until again level 4 or sometimes even level 6. Just because I know I'm not going to be using it, and it could be better off in say putting multiple points into my 1. So here this Hachi is kind of he's playing way too far up into a Yemoja, honestly. That's just on him. If I'm Fafnir, I'm a little pissed off at him right there. There's a good example of me hooping away from the sun. Now, that did absolutely nothing, but that's just like a good example of kind of why I wanted to pick Yemoja this game. But yeah, we had a really good ult onto the Hachi. Was able to kill him. That's really, really huge. And here, we just, want to farm minions. Nothing too crazy. Looks like Fafnir jumped back in, but yeah, I mean, you can't really do anything here. We do have our Thebes, so we want to make sure we're getting these stacked. And, we don't want to rotate out too early. This lane is pretty much like a stalemate right now. Like, it looks like we're winning the fights here and there, but it's mostly, I think, like a stalemate. So there's no reason to really rotate out right now. Vent looks like he was able to rotate, get a really nice double kill. That's huge. And yeah, we just want to farm all these side hooks as much as we can. Side camps give a lot. Look at that. The thing gave me 102 XP. I got 102 XP for killing that thing, and that's me splitting with my X-Ball. Like, that's just absurd to me. That's insane. Now, I do get a little bit more because I'm under-leveled. Or not under-leveled, but lowest level. If you guys didn't know, we call this sort of like the support extra passive. But you get more XP from, like, killing something if you're the lowest level in the game. So the reason why I call it the support ones, because typically support's going to be lowest level. Well, lowest level on your team. So you're going to get more XP and whatnot from killing something. Just a little bit more, nothing too crazy. But it's just to help you kind of catch back up. And I don't think that applies to gold. I'm pretty sure it just applies to the XP. Hachi had some good jukes there. Or honestly, not really. I just kind of missed. But, for the sake of everything, we'll just say, yeah, good jukes. But we'll just, yeah, we're just kind of annoying him in this lane. Still farming, splitting minions. We're actually almost at full stack Thebes by 7 minutes. That's absolutely insane. That's huge. If you get a full stack Thebes by 7 minutes, then you're doing something right. Then you guys are kind of frying this game. This Hachi actually plays very, very aggressively. We do want to kind of back up a little bit. This guy is super aggressive, my goodness. If I had ult right now, we could punish him, but I don't, unfortunately. It is coming up soon, though. Able to get a hoop here. I know ult's coming. I kind of wanted the rat to gank over here, but I don't think he did. This was actually kind of a rough game for us. I know Ven was getting really pissed off at our rat this game, and I kind of was too. A little bit of the ways down, or a little bit of the ways through, but it still ends up working out for us, which is good. And not too much of a spoiler, because you guys know I'm not posting up a game that we lose, of course. But we got a really nice ult here, and we can actually maybe turn this. Got some good ones, but now it looks like Trank doesn't really have too much mana to work with, and I'm very weak, so we're just going to back up here. Don't want to die. Don't want to overcommit. But yeah, here I think I really wanted the rat to gank. We got a hoop here. Now this, unfortunately, it was a good attempt. Let me say that. That hoop could have been better if I was like further away from my X-ball and I got a hoop backwards instead of forwards. It was a really good attempt. But yeah, here I was kind of like really pissed off at my rat because he was in a position to gank and ended up not ganking. And if he did actually end up ganking there, then, it would have been coffins for the enemy at the very least. But it is what it is. Can't get too mad at him. You just kind of have to like go through with it. But we're gonna go back over this lane. Still more stuff to be had. It's important to note that it's 8 minutes in the game and I'm still in dual lane. I'm not really rotating yet. It really just depends on the game state. If you guys are hard losing dual lane and say their jungler is ganking 24/7, probably best to rotate earlier on. See if your ADC can solo farm. But if you're not, and so here's a really good hoop, by the way, right? Like screws up Hachi's entire dash. In fact, we might be able to turn this now. Yeah, we do. Damn it, man. Oh wait, no, we don't. Oh, I missed the one. Tragic. Well, we'll just say that was a kill. We'll just say that was a kill. Come on now. Well, that was obviously a kill. We got it. We're 2-1-4 right now, not 1-1-4. But we had a really good hoop right there. Stop the hammer and cancel the Hachi dash, so he can't even stun. So that was really big. And of course, if I didn't like miss the one at the end, then we kill. So, but yeah, if you're like hard losing lane, then it's best to say rotate out. If you're sort of like stalemating lane, I would sort of stay in. And if you're winning lane, I would also sort of stay in, at least for a while. The only time I really want to rotate out a lot earlier is if we're just hard losing lane and Because if you're sitting there splitting with your ADC and you're not getting any other sort of farm for it, then like you're kind of griefing him a little bit. And you guys are probably dying off cooldown anyways. So it's best to help like do something else around the map. But here we're kind of backing up a little bit. Or trying to at the very least. Like I said, this Hachi plays really aggressive this game. I want to ult this just in case Hachi has like ult or something like that and is able to get to him. But I mean, yeah, this guy, he's still just running at me. Maybe I did something to him. I don't know, like some previous game. But this guy absolutely hates me. Like, this is crazy. Yo, man, respectfully, we need it for... Yeah, Ven is not happy right now. Ven is not happy right now. But let's go ahead and skip to past this death. And we're back. Cool. Back through a hoop. Power of editing. We're able to skip right past that death and hopefully come back over to lane. So, yeah, Fafner's still playing over here. Serket's honestly just... she's just doing a lot this game. So, it's just kind of rough in the early game. We have to kind of get through it. But this game is a really good... Let's just say I get to showcase the power of Yemoja this game and why she's still a really, really good character. But we're going to go and pull the screen. We could have easily just not pulled it, or we could have easily pulled it to our T2 and kind of waited for the X ball. I just wasn't in the mood to do that, so I went ahead and pulled it to tower. One thing to note is I do go Spirit Robe second this game, so Yemoja really, really enjoys cooldown. Really, really enjoys cooldown. And by going Spirit Robe, I am not only getting cooldown, but it's really good against their team. And hang on, here's a good hoop for Ven. Trying to hoop these guys away. We want a 2 Ven if we can, but unfortunately it's just too much damage. We can't really do enough there. This Serket is, like, she's playing really, really well this game. But yeah, so we go Spirit Robe, and Spirit Robe honestly saves me right there. And the reason why is because they have a lot of CC, a lot of individual stuns. So they have Anubis, they have Fafnir, right? They have Serket. And Spirit Robe is not only going to reduce the CC time that I am CC'd for by about 20%, but it's also going to give me a really nice passive that once I get CC'd, I'm going to get 15% damage mitigation. It's going to let me be really, really tanky. So on top of getting the cooldown stats, it's giving me a lot of tanky stats as well. So that's why we went Spirit Robe this game. It's because they have a ton of CC, a ton of stuns, and it allows me to live. If I don't have Spirit Robe right there, I'm for sure dead, and I'm 1-3 right now on the gray screen. So here now I'm kind of going back. Well, here now I'm going to mid, not back to mid, but I'm going to mid. Ven is not happy with this guy at all. Rat should have attacked there. I agree with Ven. Rat should have attacked there because I had ult, so I was coming over to try to see if I could set up an ult for him. But oh man, dude, how did we ever win this game? Like, how was this game ever won? I just don't understand. But in any case, it's a journey, right? It's about the journey. It's about the journey. So we got a good hoop there. Try to 2 him. We have to get an ult here. This is actually a really, really good ult, I think. Trying to keep this rat alive as long as we can. Able to get the Serket. We trap in the Anubis, and we get out. Ben goes back in. I try to 2 him, but... Oh, like, luckily that hoop actually, I guess, bugged down and saved his life. So that's crazy, but we'll take that. We'll take that. But we just want to heal him up a little bit with Benevolence. So this is a nice thing about going Benevolence on Yemoja, by the way, is that when you do go Benevolence, you are getting passive HP to your allies as well as your passive autos. So that's what's really, really nice. You're healing them a lot with just your autos and Benevolence. And, of course, you also have your 2, so you're getting healing from that as well. So, like, just from minute 1, you're actually, not really minute 1, but whenever you get your 2 and all that kind of stuff up, you're actually healing a lot because you have Benevolence, your passive autos, and, of course, your 2, which is super nice. But, yeah, we're going to kind of play around mid this game a little bit because ADC wasn't really working out as much. I want to go back left, but the other thing, too, is that I want to play around mid to see if I could trap in Anubis. And, unfortunately, Fafnir is still just sort of, like, camping the X-ball, so it's kind of hard for him to play the game. But it looks like Rat gets a good ult off here. And let's see what happens. Cool. Nice. So Rat ends up getting him. I think in the game, we were like thinking that he was going to choke. Or I was thinking he was going to choke because of all the stuff I was seeing Rat do in that game. But I'm glad he didn't. We're able to dodge one of the Serket taunts. And unfortunately, the second one hits us, but we're able to get out. And here, we're just sort of, you know, killing wards, patrolling the area a little bit, getting some info. We do have 2,100 gold, so we're going to want to back here. Probably want to go Pridwin next. Again, I really, really, really want cooldown on Yemoja. So I think we do want to go into Pridwin next. And from here, let's see what relic I end up getting. Probably a slow curse, right? Yeah. Okay, so we end up getting slow curse, which is good. Relics are going to be really good this game for 2 reasons. One, Shell is really good against Serket because when you shield a Serket ult, like, The way Circuit Ult works is that it's true damage, right? So it means it goes through prots. Now, fun fact, true damage can get mitigated, actually. It can get reduced if you have % damage mitigation, aka Spirit Robe, which is also why Spirit Robe's good this game. As Circuit ults me, her ult's actually not doing as much damage as it normally would have. Unfortunately, he gets jumped on. Hold on, let's see what happens this fight. Okay, cool. Yeah, we don't want to like spam our ult here, but I wanted to do something. See if we can get the Circuit. Oh yeah, she's like not getting hooped or whatever. I don't know what was happening there. That was really, really weird. It was like really hard for me to get an ult there, but Spirit Robe right there is just saving our lives, man, and so is the shell. But in any case, so pretty much what's going on is Circuit ult is doing true damage, and so because it does true damage, it doesn't have as like high scaling, damage scaling as like other ults, right? Because it has true damage. And so right here, we just want to 2 our allies, by the way. Like, that's all we want to do this fight. We want to make sure they're as healthy as possible. And I did eat the Fafnir stun, but I don't know. We just still end up getting fragged there. It's just so unfortunate. And then I think Wukong just ends up going on me here. But in any case, though, let's go ahead and just skip through this death real quick. And we're back. Cool. So now maybe I can actually finally talk about my build since the fight's not happening. Golly. In any case, though, because she has true damage is not going to have as high scaling as like other sort of like forms of ults would have. And so that's why like shields can be really good for it, because shields are eating that damage, right? And on top of eating the damage, it's also pretty much like mitigating a majority or if not all the ult, which is super nice. And what's cool about Yemo and the Circuit is even though Circuit's ult is anti-heal, I can still spam 2 and still get the shield portion of my 2 off. So with my 2 combined with Shell, this game, it's going to really mitigate a lot of the effects of Circuit ult, if not completely negate it. Okay, here we actually get a phenomenal, I remember this play, this was awesome. Got a phenomenal ult, and my team, they just overcommit. I'm spam 2ing SOT right now. This guy owes me dinner in a movie. SOT, if you watch this video, you owe me dinner in a movie, friend. I'll be expecting it next time we go to hopefully a Smite land. But that was epic, that was insane, and that was really, really good. In any case, though, yeah, pretty much we have a lot of ways to mitigate Circuit ult is pretty much what I'm trying to say. And same thing with Slow Curse too. Slow Curse is damage reduction, right? So as I just said, sort of like damage reduction, damage mitigation reduces true damage, even though it's still true damage. So if I shell to my allies and even Slow Curse the Circuit, her ult is pretty much going to be like completely negated this game, which is going to be really, really nice. So that's why we have this combo of relics, and that's also why like Yemo can still like to her allies into Circuit, because the shield is still going to be really, really effective against the ult. We've kind of set ourselves up this game to really sort of counter their team. I'm sort of countering their team in a sort of a strange way, right? Like I said at the beginning of this video, the goal of this game was to hoop my allies and sort of give them, I'm not going to say a beads, but some form of play against stuns if they weren't if they didn't have beads up or anything like that. So that's pretty much what we're doing here. Here we get a good solo curse off, but unfortunately, Hachi saw it all. It is what it is. And right there, as you guys saw in that fight, maybe you want to rewind it, but what I try to do is sort of position myself in front of the X-Ball at some point. Like, that's what I want to do in those fights. Every single time, especially against ADCs, you always want to try to position right in front of the enemy ADC. Just make sure that your allies are, not taking any of the autos. Another good thing to note here is I go into Heroism. Heroism is really good. Again, you're getting shields. This is even more shields now, right? So I have 3 forms of shields. My 2, Heroism, and also Shell. On top of that, they have a lot of CC, so they have a lot of ways to proc Heroism, like a lot of individual CC. So that's why I went Heroism in this game. Now, I'm going to be honest, I think Compassion is still better, personally. Compassion is going to be better overall in a fight, but Heroism is better for like an individual, of course, because the thing is, once you get that Heroism proc, it's not doing anything for 16 seconds, right? Whereas Compassion is always doing something all the time. They're always going to get 12% damage reduction when they're around you because you're eating it for them, for your allies. So that's the way I sort of like look at it. But I still think Heroism's a good, like, I still think it's a good starter, and I still think it's like really, really fun, honestly, to go. So that's why we went Heroism this game. And if there's going to be a game to go Heroism, it would be that. And here is really good example of just 2ing my allies out. I wanted 2. I want to shell here as well a little bit with the Circuit ult. And 3 my allies out and 2ing them. I mean, this play, this was all like Yemoja, right? Like, we live here. Oh, we missed it too. And SOT gets the heroism proc, so it's even more shields. We live here because of the Yemoja. So all I want to do is try to 3 my allies out. They played well, like well enough to the point where they're... I also shouldn't have 2'd SOT there. I should have 3'd this Anubis. But they were good to take it, and yeah, we lived, and then we died because we're trolls. But, yeah, it was a good play until it wasn't. Let me just say that. Let's go and skip this stuff though. All right, and we're back. Cool. Yeah, I mean that's the thing about like sometimes you make good plays, and other times you follow the good plays up with bad plays. So you know it happens, vice versa, right? But yeah, in any case though, that was showcasing Yemo's power a little bit, right? I'm 3 my allies out. I'm 2ing them as well. Doing the correct amount of Omi, and I still had Omi regen because of my ult. And of course, I got a good shell too onto the Circuit ult. A little bit late, but it was still decent. Here, I want to try to get an ult here. A little 3 to put him back in. I don't want to do too much. This was really unfortunate. So right there was, if that hoop hit Trank, he never dies there because he didn't have ult, or sorry, he didn't have beads. But unfortunately, the hoop was just a little too far away from him. And yeah, he unfortunately didn't get hoop. So I could have definitely saved him though if that hoop hit. So that's just unfortunate. I'm not gonna lie, here I thought we were gonna lose the game, but I think Ven ends up doing a lot of damage. If I'm not mistaken, they just overcommit. Want to slow curse because this guy already used his tiger form, and we can kind of go back up here now. Oh, thanks for the follow, brother. I appreciate it. I don't like, not his tiger form, sorry, his 3. I don't like slow curse there until he uses 3 because he is slow immune on like his bull and his bird. So just one thing to look at. Here, I just want to try to stun this guy best I can. Ven's getting some good play into him. End up killing him. This is completely fine. This is completely fine. We kill Anubis. We get them off FG for a little bit. That was a completely good play by us. Completely fine. And yeah, let's go ahead and skip through this death. I lied. We're not skipping through the death because we end up getting FG, boys. Let's go. We got FG. They got in. That's huge. And we actually end up killing the Hachi. So this was probably the turning point in this game. I think I even said at some point during the game too. I said if we do end up winning this game, it's because we were able to steal FG there. So this was definitely a turning point in this game. So now I'm debating what I want to go. There is no incorrect way to do anything here, but I personally like spending a lot of my gold on relic upgrades in particular, or what do they call them? Glyphs. There we go. In particular, Pridwin and Relic Dagger. And that's because Pridwin and Relic Dagger have really, really good glyphs. Pridwin glyph, the blue one, actually just recently got buffed. So it goes from 200, you get a shield equal to 200% of your total protections, and they buffed it to 225%. So they gave it a lot more, right? And that's actually really, really nice. They gave it 25% more. So that's actually really, really nice to Pridwin. I don't even think it needed the buff in the first place, so that's just one big thing. But we got that, and then also Relic Dagger, Eldritch Dagger, we get extra prots too when we get that upgrade. So it's just really nice all around, and we get to see wards. So I personally just like spending my gold on those relics. Now, like I said, there's no incorrect way to do any of that, but that's just personally what I like doing. Here we just get a really nice hoop onto the Fafnir, right, onto his landing, and then get a good stun. Hachi's a little too far up, so we just trap him in ult. I mean, this is just why Yemoja is so good, right? And then we can just sustain our allies too. This is huge. SOT looks like he's inting. But he was able to live for a little bit longer. X-Ball's kind of free casting here, which is super nice. Whenever you let your ADC free cast, it's just the nicest thing in the world. Got a nice little hoop onto him again. And yeah, we're just kind of running it down now. And I'm pretty sure we can just win the game right here. So this should just be game. Yep, we got a slow curse on the Circuit, reduce our damage, get a nice 2 on our allies, and of course, we're going to finally shell. And there we go. This should be the game. Guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys learned a lot from it. Hopefully, I wasn't just rambling some nonsense, but you guys were actually like learning stuff from this video. But yeah, this is just kind of a good game to showcase Yemoja. I just want to explain why I picked her and wanted to show you guys pretty much like what you should be doing with Yemoja in those situations. Of course, if you guys have any questions or anything like that, maybe I didn't explain something as clearly as I should have, or maybe you just had some follow-up questions onto what I was doing, then feel free to comment down below and I'll do my best to answer those questions. But this was a super high rank game. We had Ven, SOT in it, myself as well, and some other players too. So yeah, until the next video, thank you guys so much for watching. See ya.